Awesome. Well, I guess let me pause for a second. I guess the last song on the release is Prestige Worldwide, and Rob, if you want to start talking about that, I know this song obviously has been around for a while. I believe it first debuted during the holiday show you guys did at the Capitol Theater in Portchester, and definitely alludes to a popular film as well. So can you talk a little bit about the genesis of that song and kind of where it's lived in the band's catalog for the last few years? I think
you're muted.
Hey Rob, I think you're muted.
Okay.
All right. So if you want to maybe start, it's just so for editing purposes, if you want to start with the name of the song as you say it, we could just edit out that little mute situation there.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't actually mute. I don't know what happened. Yeah. So for Prestige Worldwide, the name really came. It was like one of those things where we just like, what are we going to name this song? And probably it has nothing. Well, at the time, it didn't have anything to do with the song, but it kind of fits the theme of like what it is, I guess. It's sort of, that song was more like harkened back to a little bit of an older kind of Mo feel. And when I was writing it, I felt a little nostalgic for some, older stuff like Buster or whatever, that used to, that not used to, but, that has a lighter kind of feel about it, subject matter wise. But as I was writing, I have this whole, I actually found the notes I had on it the other day. And it turns out I was really delving into this freaking like post-apocalyptic fantasy world that I was coming up with, where there were like all these different races of things, and I never followed through on the entire universe that I was going to create. But that's it's sort of like has a Watership Down kind of vibe to it, and I didn't get too far into it. But as far as the name is concerned, it is what it is, I guess.
We didn't have a name. I think it just kind of came out of someone's mouth, and we're like, okay, and that's kind of what stuck on the set list.
That happens quite a bit,
Yeah.
Before it gets named by somebody else.
Yeah. Chuck regularly gets threatened that we're going to call your song this until you think of a title.
Great.
Chuck comes through usually right at the end, right before it gets recorded.
I got one. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes down in print. Then
it helps with that last minute writer's block there. Whoever has to write the set list that night gets that gets to put the little break on there.
Yeah. My favorite was Snooch.
I was gonna.
What was Snooch?
Snooch
Zed,
was
not Z.
Zed, not Z. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's it. Chuck comes in with a name first now, and he's like, "I'll write the song later."
This is the fucking
Put
name.
this down. Just saying.
It's like a little Mad Lib vibe going on.
Yeah.
Well, I guess following that up, Rob. I feel like in some of the more recent songs that you guys have presented, this theme of looking back and nostalgia, either lyrically or in this case, it's just kind of musically has been prevalent. Have you felt that as well, or is it kind of, you feel that's because of what you've gone through health wise recently, or just kind of coincidentally where you are when you're writing your songs?
I don't, I just kind of go wherever my inspiration kind of takes me at this point. And I don't think too much about that, but I also don't think too much about like what anybody would want to hear from me, or like, I just kind of have been writing. When I write, it's just like what makes me happy at the time. And, sometimes that makes it all the way to the band and sometimes it doesn't. And that was sort of like what happened, like with my sort of health issues from
3 years ago. That was sort of what I came away with after that scare, I guess. Life's fucking short, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hopefully, I see you guys in person soon instead of over Zoom. Although this was fun as well.
Let's hope
Nice.
so.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. See you.
Later.